Hi. A film that I caught in the lead up to Halloween, which I hadn't heard of before but was interested to see, was Island of Terror, 1966 British sci-fi horror film starring Peter Cushing. It has a background very similar to that of the Quatermass serials. It's about a scientific response to a horror-style disaster. Begins with experiments on a remote island off the Irish coast going wrong, and later a bizarre murder taking place. When the crime is investigated by scientists, they discover that the murder victim has had all the bones sucked out of his body. Um, so it's discovered that the experiments in attempting to find a cure for cancer have instead given birth to some weird looking silicon based creatures that suck all the calcium out of the human being and are going to overrun the whole island. It's dreadful. um, which is a shame because it's made with an energy and a verve. It's a very handsome looking film. There are some very fine performances. Cushing, as always, treats the material as though it's Shakespeare and gives it a gravity and a seriousness that is completely unearned. There are some decent supporting performances from the likes of Edward Judd and Niall McGuinness. And the photography is surprisingly bright and sharp. Interesting choice to show vivid colours in darkened surroundings. But the monsters themselves, when they do appear, are the worst film monsters I have ever seen outside of a Poverty Row Z grade American 50s horror movie. They're just great big latex lumps with a little stalk that comes out that snares people. One character is caught by one when one of the creatures drops straight out of a tree, having somehow managed to climb up there. Another one manages to leap through a skylight. I mean, it's completely absurd and totally non-threatening and ridiculous. And it tramples all over any credibility the film might have. Um, Terence Fisher, who directed, is a very fine director who I believe worked on Hammer a number of times and is a very talented and skilled craftsman. But he's really got his work cut out with this because the creatures look so awful. It's impossible to take the rest of the film seriously, and as a result, any tension that it might have is completely destroyed. So it's probably good for a laugh, and certainly good for Cushing's performance, which is, as I say, typically excellent. But don't make any effort to see this.